Am I the a-hole for refusing to move out of the house now I'm pregnant? I live in my childhood home, which I own the deed to. I am the sole owner. I inherited it from my grandmother who raised my siblings and I. She left it on the understanding that as the oldest of 4 kids, if she passed away, I would use the house and whatever else she left to get guardianship of my younger/half siblings and help them reach adulthood. I'm 26, and my siblings are 20, 16, and 13. Grandma passed away a few years ago, and I did what she asked regarding getting guardianship and moving back into the house and taking care of my siblings. The house is an old farmhouse, and it has a barn on the premises. My grandma converted the barn into a guest house about a decade ago. The idea was that when family came over, they could use it, but over time it became more of a very large junk room. There's still a bed and a kitchenette and a bathroom, but none of it has been used in years. I can't even say for sure that it all still works, and even if it does, you have to wade through all sorts of crap to access it all. Someone broke into it a few years back, so there's not even a lock on the door right now, and I can't shell out money for renovations. I've recently found out that I am pregnant and told my siblings. My sister, the 20-year-old, says she will not under any circumstances live with a baby. I offered to help her find a place. She said that she won't be moving out as this is her home too, and she has every right to be here. I agreed with her, but said that the baby has a right to be here too, and asked what solution she could come up with. She then said that the barn is an option and offered to help me move in. I said no. The barn is a glorified junk room that's only been home to spiders in the last few years. I'm not touching it. And I have a perfectly good room in the house with an adjoining room that could easily be made into a nursery. And as the guardian of the 2 younger siblings, I need to be under the same roof as them. She said that it won't take long to make the barn livable again, and I'm being a drama queen about the state of it. That the 3 of them are old enough to live apart, and the barn is about 20 seconds from the house anyway. So I'm making too big of a deal about the separate roof thing, and the barn is the only way to make sure she and our siblings don't have to hear the baby crying all the time. I said that the baby will cry, but that's hardly going to be the only noise in this house, and she can't expect me to live in a barn because of it. She said she shouldn't have to live with a baby and I'm selfish for making her do so. I said she is welcome to move out of the house, either into the barn or just elsewhere. She then accused me of trying to kick her out, which I was not doing and told her so, and called me a selfish a-hole for not moving into the barn. We haven't spoken since. Am I the a-hole? Info: I have never asked her to pay rent, but she does pay for the occasional bill or food shop. However, she doesn't have the money to move out unless it involved multiple roommates. I'm not kicking her out. She's a student. We have agreed she can stay here while she studies. And Grandma left me the house, so all my siblings would always have a home. Now for the top comments. Am I the a-hole for not letting my adult sister kick my pregnant bud out of my own house? Since you somehow need to ask, not the a-hole. More like, am I the a-hole for letting my adult sister say I should be the one to move into a barn while she gets the house? Not the a-hole. If she doesn't want to live with a baby, she can have the barn because she's the one with the issue. That's technically your house. Why would you move out of your home while being pregnant to a barn that doesn't have room for you and the baby? Or she can just leave. Live in a tent on the property. Opie is being very generous not kicking her out. She said that it won't take long to make the barn livable again. Well, that's settled. She can take the barn, not the a-hole. Was about to suggest that myself. Since the sister has such a good idea about using the barn, she can live there away from the baby. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for clearing out all the food in the house and not replenishing it because my sister has an eating disorder? I love my sister, but she eats everything inside the moment she finds it. I have a lock on my door and have gotten a small fridge. I keep fruits and water in there, some snacks, and then I will go to my boyfriend's to eat. My sister is unemployed at the moment, and my parents bring her meals, about 1,200 calories per meal, and she will scarf it down. If they leave something for me, she eats that as well. She once got so hungry, she ate Parmesan cheese from a shake bottle. As much as I love my sister, she has eaten about $400 in groceries this month alone. I tried so hard to refill it, talk it out with her, and she just binges, purges, binges more. She couldn't even be measured on my scale, which goes up to 450 pounds. I told her that I was done feeding her. She can talk to our parents and figure it out. I was done. I have the lock-in in my bedroom, which has always been there, and I eat with my boyfriend. I eat at work, but there is nothing but bottled water in the fridge for her right now. My parents are going out of town next week, and have agreed to buy her food for the week. I told them that if she eats at all, she is going to be hungry the rest of the days. I have been very clear with them that she needs to go to some kind of therapy/clinic. There has to be something to be done for someone with her issues, but she ignores it. It is at that point where she cannot get into my Corolla to drive anywhere because she's too big. The house we live in is my childhood home, and I live there with Ashley because she is my sister. But now it's to the point where my boyfriend has said to just move in with him, which would mean my parents would have to watch her because her health is so bad she can't do a lot of things without help. I didn't sign up to be her savior. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. I'll tell you who are the a-holes here. Your parents, for just delivering excessive food, not getting her proper help, and relying on you to help her. Moving out would be a good idea. This ain't your mess. Absolutely. Sister needs help, and the fact that she's not getting it already is very, very concerning. Not the a-hole, but you need to move out. This isn't your mess to handle. Your sister has to want/seek help herself. You can't force her to get it. Just move in with your boyfriend. Clean your hands off the situation. My boyfriend has offered, and I am probably going to take him up on it. It is just a matter of getting my things from the house. I think the right thing to do is just to leave. 100% you're not the a-hole. Take your boyfriend up on the offer, and I suggest doing it quickly. Get yourself out before your parents are due to go on their trip. It will not go down well, and they may try and leave anyway. Not the a-hole. Your sister definitely has some form of hyperphagia that may or may not be treatable, and your parents' current strategy of more food is abusive and neglectful. They need to have her seen to work out the cause and come up with a strategy to bring her back to a healthy weight. These things are not your responsibility, and you would be right to get out of there. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my brother text his friend/crush using my phone because she is ignoring him? My brother became friends with this girl, and they had a common interest, which was chess. They were good friends for months and always said nice things to each other, but they had a few small arguments. One was where my brother got upset that she responded kindly to someone complimenting her on Instagram. They're only friends and nothing more. My brother had me draw portraits of her 3 times to give to her, and he admitted to have feelings for her. Everything was going good again until they had another argument. I'm not sure exactly what it was about, but it ended up with my brother messaging her little brother when he was angry and he was kind of rude. The girl saw this and started ignoring him, which made my brother really upset. He was sad a lot now because he really liked her. She also blocked him. He asked me to use my phone to message her on Instagram, and I said okay. He messaged her from my account pretending to be me, saying that he's really sad, and he's even sadder because his uncle just died. That was not true. I saw what he sent and got angry because he was trying to guilt trip her. He went to my sister and also used her account to try to talk to her. He wanted me to let him message her on WhatsApp, and I didn't want to, but he kept insisting, and I started feeling bad, so I let him. He wished her good luck on a chess tournament, and she left it on read. Another time, he sent her a poem he wrote, and it was also left on read. Eventually, I stopped letting him contact her using my phone, because she obviously wasn't going to message him anymore. My brother's birthday was coming up, and he was hoping she would wish him happy birthday at least. But she didn't, and he got sad again. Nothing happened for a while, so I forgot about it. But today, he came in all of a sudden asking to use my phone. I asked him if it was to message her, and he said yes. Of course I said no. He said that he asked my sister, and she also said no. And he cursed her, which was completely unjustified. He started getting angry, saying that it was his business, and it doesn't matter if it was wrong or not because he wanted to message her, so he should be able to. I said that it's my phone, so I'm not gonna let him, which made him even angrier, and he kept saying it was his decision, not mine. Eventually he left, but I ended up feeling bad, and I didn't know whether he was right and it wasn't my business, or if I was right to prevent him from messaging her because I thought at this point he was harassing her. Thanks for all the comments. I realized I was kinda dumb to let him do it those times, and I'm not going to feel bad anymore. Now for the top comments before reading the little update. not at A-Hall. And your brother sounds a bit unhinged to not have gotten the hint at this point. Don't let him use your phone. This isn't healthy at best, and actually dangerous at worst. What if your brother goes off on her and sends some crazy stuff threatening her using your phone? Absolutely do not allow him access again. I think he's gotten the hint but doesn't care. This looks a lot more like a won't take no for an answer kind of guy. You did the right thing here by finally saying no, and no longer continuing to enable your brother to stalk and harass this girl. But it took you too damn long to say no. So I'm gonna say everyone sucks here. You suck because you should have said no from the beginning. She obviously didn't want to maintain contact with him anymore. What good could have possibly come from allowing him to repeatedly stumble over her boundaries and attempts to get away from him? I realize you felt bad for him, but you actively chose to continue to enable his harassment of her for far too long. That isn't excusable. This kind of behavior on his part is scary. He's manipulative and has repeatedly shown that he has zero respect for this girl and won't take no for an answer. And now he's escalated to anger when denied access to her. This is a serious problem. It's not a cute crush or hurts feelings. Obi, talk to your mom about getting your brother into therapy. Refusing to take no for an answer and escalating to violence is a big deal. He'll probably turn out alright with some well-placed perspective from a professional, but his current trajectory is heading straight to violent incel. You're the a-hole if you let this drop. Your brother was bothering that girl. Full in harassment. Your mom either doesn't have a good understanding of how bad it is, or simply doesn't understand what a big, glaring warning sign this is. Your brother has some very, very damaged ideas of what he is entitled to from women, and now is the time for him to get into some serious therapy. Please, sit down with your mom and take her through the various things he's done, including, it doesn't matter if he's wrong or not. He wanted to message her, so he should be able to. Change message to something else, and you can see where the scary mindset leads. See? Touch? Kiss? Worse. Your brother has some problems. Where is he learning that he is entitled to women's attention? Why hasn't he learned that no means no? Your brother needs help before he does something that can't be taken back. Before he becomes someone that hurts people. You all still live at home, so I'm hoping there are school or health resources available, but your parents have to take this seriously. Don't let this end with, well, we stopped him from using our phones to message this one particular girl. Job done. He needs help. Help him by making it clear to your parents how much help he needs. If you don't take this seriously, there are a bunch of mass creeds against women to point to as evidence of how dark and twisted this mindset can go if left unchecked. Update. I told my mom, and she said she already told him not to try to message her, but he tried again, so clearly it did nothing. So my sister and I went in this room with permission and told him not to ever try to message her with our phones specially. But he physically pushed us out of his room upon hearing that. But he said he won't do it again, so hopefully he stays true to his words. Now he has no way of contacting her. Now for the last story. Would I be the a-hole if I choose to not cave to my aunt's demands regarding the inheritance her father left me? My paternal grandfather passed away after a late run-in with cancer, and complications stemming from the ongoing global issue. In his will, he listed the eldest Brent, fake name, male grandchild will inherit 100% of his assets, which include land, funds, and another plot of land with a house on it, all of which are on the island where we are from. There are 20 grandchildren in total, 10 girls, 10 boys. However, only half of the boys have the Brent last name. I state because in our culture, your last name is a title in the village hierarchy. The way the law works on the island is that the eldest male grandchild is normally the successor of the family, as long as he bears the last name. That is where the rub is. I, 32 male, have 2 other older male cousins. Neither of them have the Brent last name. We'll call them Steve and Bob, which means all of the inheritance will go to me as I am, technically, the eldest male grandchild with the Brent last name. My plan was simple. I was going to divide all funds between all the grandkids, keep the house and sell the other plot and use the funds to repair the house. That caused a huge issue with my aunts because they feel her kids, Steve and Bob, deserve more because they were the ones that helped my granddad the most as I live in the States. My granddad's lawyer assured me that the full inheritance is mine to use and disperse as I see fit. Legitimately, the only thing I want of my grandfather's is his coin collection in the house. I will be dividing everything else up. Will I be the a-hole if I refuse to cave to my aunt's demands and choose to divide the assets this way? Not the a-hole. Legally, you can cut them out completely. If your grandfather wanted them to have anything, he would have named them specifically in the will. I think what you're doing is extremely fair for everyone. Plus, it sounds like cousins may have taken care of the grandfather in the hopes he'd leave them more. I think this is correct, but I think your final comment is extremely unfair. Not the a-hole. It seems like you want to share the inheritance when you could keep it all legally. Share it how you see fit. The only hard no I have is the coin collection. My grandpa's the reason I collect coins. Not the a-hole. Dear aunt, unless you shut the F up about this, you and your boys will be cut off 100% from any inheritance. I wouldn't do that to the boys. The only reason I'm deciding to spend the money get from the spare plot of land and home repairs in my gramps' house is because they were saving up to make the repairs on their dime.